It's the 1st of March, and in Greece, that's the day we put on what we call a Martis. This is a pagan tradition, and you wear it for the entire month of March. It's bringing health and happiness and an excellent springtime. And at the end of the month, you cut it off your wrist and you hang it in a tree so that a bird can take it and use it in their nest. I love this tradition, and I try to do it every year. I literally just woke up, and I woke up with a strong conviction that I'm ready to start my 3-day fast. I do this every March, and I'll talk about why I fast a little bit later in the video as I check in over the 3 days. But let's say today's Thursday morning, I'm gonna eat lightly today, and I'm gonna start for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Absolutely no food, only water, coffee, and tea. It takes a certain amount of psychological preparation to do a 3-day fast, but I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. I actually don't have too much trouble with the not eating part of the fasting. The thing that really gets me is not being able to put anything in my coffee. That's the hard part. But it's only 3 days, so I can definitely adjust. I'll check in throughout the 3 days. For me, this 3-day fast is not primarily about losing weight. It's about cellular regeneration, reducing inflammation, and helping my body to deal with the autoimmune issues that I have. I prefer to fast in March at the beginning of allergy season because I have much better outcomes, much better coping abilities. Having said that, I did weigh myself this morning so that I have a baseline, and I will share the numbers, the before and after, at the end of the video. How you get in and out of a fast is just as important as the fast. So this is my last meal before I start. I also like to get the house cleaned up and get some fresh sheets on the bed before I start a fast. My house is never as clean as I want it to be, so getting it cleaned up before a fast just kind of sets me up in a good mood. But enough of that, it's time to make some cookies. When I got down to my kitchen, I found that my slicer wasn't working, and I'm on an island, so I have to try to fix it myself. There it is. There it is. Oh. Feeling pretty chuffed about that. I thought this week it would be nice to share more about my cookie making process, since this is something that's a constant in my life. I'm self-employed, so no matter what I'm doing in my videos, in the background there's usually cookie making as well, and flour production. And if you're new here, just to clarify, that's acorn cookies and acorn flour. I have the first and foremost company in the world that produces nutritious and delicious flour from acorns. There's a link in the description to oatmeal.com, and you'll see I've spoken at TED and write research papers, and it's a whole acorn world that I've created over here in Kea. The company's still trying to get back on its feet after the COVID crisis, when so many of our wholesale partners and retail partners went out of business. So that's why I'm doing a lot of it myself. I love the production side of my business, but I am looking forward to having some helpers as well pretty soon. Has been extruding day, Yesterday I mixed and froze some dough, not much, pretty small batch, maybe a couple hundred packages. Today I'm extruding it, and tomorrow I'll be slicing and baking. Sometimes it seems like taking the machine apart, putting it back together and cleaning it takes longer than the actual extruding. When I have large orders for supermarkets or abroad, I use this slicer, which is incredibly fast, obviously less labor than hand slicing, but it's a whole thing to get it started up and cleaned and everything else and serviced. So when I have a small amount to do like I'm doing this weekend, I just hand cut them. This basically feeds trays, slices onto the trays, moves the tray forward, and it's a fully automated slicing system. Does 5 bars at a time. I also have a really big walk-in freezer that I use when I'm doing large production. But today, again, because I'm not doing too many, I'm using this small 2-door freezer. I can go without freeing up some space in the freezer by baking off a trolley. So I'll do that next and then continue cutting. So it's day 1 of my fast. I just want to make it clear that I'm not a doctor and nothing I do in my videos it should be considered medical advice. One thing about fasting is that it saves you a lot of time when you're not eating. You have no shopping, no prep, no cooking, and no eating. So I find one of the secrets to sticking with a fast is keeping busy, keeping my mind occupied, and not thinking about food. Day 1, I decided to come out for a bike ride, keep my mind off food. I'm headed up there to Ulita, the village, and I came from down there, sea level. My left knee is not happy. This getting old thing sucks. I'm 24 hours into the fast. I feel good. I got a little bit hungry the last half hour, but I think with enough tea, I'll get over that. So the fast I do allows water, black coffee, black tea, herbal tea, and sometimes I drink a little bit of cider vinegar in a glass of water. Aside from that, nothing else. It's a dark, rainy day, so I hope you can see in this light. This is about 36 hours into the fast. I woke up with a headache. But I've been waking up with headaches for a couple months now, and I'm hoping the fast is going to help with that. I'm using some Himalayan sea salt and organic cider vinegar with water just to make sure I don't get dehydrated. And I'll check in with you at the 48-hour mark. So I'm at the 48-hour mark. I feel good. I had a bit of stomach grumbling last night and today, but other than that, I haven't been particularly hungry. And once in a while I have to remind myself that, no, you're not going to go in the kitchen and find something to eat. I went out and bought some avocados and apples because that's how I'm going to break the fast. This is day 3, and I've decided to go tonight as well and break the fast tomorrow morning. So that'll be 4 nights and 3 days, about 84 hours. The 24 to 48 hour period is when it's pretty tricky. And that was yesterday. I felt a little bit dizzy, I felt a little bit detached, but nothing too serious. And this morning I woke up feeling the same, a little bit dizzy, a little bit detached, and just got on with the day, and now I feel absolutely amazing. So I'll check in with you again when I'm ready to break the fast. So here's the first thing I eat when I break the fast. That is butter and tea. Sounds gross, but it's extremely satiating, and it curbs the panic that can occur when you start eating after 3.5 days. Think ghee from the Himalayas. It's basically the same thing. A couple of hours after the butter tea comes the fermented vegetables, pickles. I also love them. And not having eaten for a few days, they taste even better than usual. I'll boil this off into a soup to eat for the next few days to get my body accustomed again to food. Towards the end, I'll add these. And that'll call an end to the fast. Good morning. So the fast is over, which I'm quite happy about because it wasn't a very easy fast this time. A lot of dizziness and not feeling very well. But I have to say, I feel good now, and a lot of my cracking that I usually have during my morning yoga is not happening. Inflammation is way down, and apparently this really causes a cellular reset. So I'm happy about that. The weight loss was very minimal this time, about under 2 kilos, so well under 5 pounds. But that wasn't the point. The point is to help my body to be at its absolute optimum. For the next few days, I'm going to be strictly vegan and try to capitalize on these benefits. The surprise is that the 30-minute documentary I made with the Greek National Television Station last October was released yesterday. It's excellent. A crew of 7 worked for 5 days with me, and it's just a beautiful little film about my island, about my work, about some of the people around me. And I hope you'll go over and see it. I'm going to leave a link down in the description, but I'd really appreciate it before you go off my channel and watch that, if you could subscribe and like here. Thanks, and until next time, have a good one.